Then our very own हमारे अपने नरेंद्र प्रसाद जी. Can I have you on stage, please, नरेंद्र जी?
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Beloved अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. तो हमारा बीच में काफ़ी सारा लैंग्वेज ग्रुप्स है, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, बंगाली. तो सब में भाषण करने के लिए मेरे को इतना आता नहीं. आई ट्राई एंड स्पीक इन Hindi and primarily Telugu, because a large number of people are from Telugu states. Then beach mein to supplement in English if possible. First of all, I offer my beloved Avatar Meher Baba ki the love of Meher Baba for all the Baba lovers who have gathered here. Despite the existing scare about coronavirus and various other things, that shows your love for beloved Baba. And coming to this eastern region of India is a great privilege. And the veterans of this region, Thade family, they have contributed quite extensively to the Baba. Spreading Baba's message of love and truth in these parts. I've been given this opportunity. I thank Indrani ji for asking me to share what Baba had done for Kolkata. This is not possible to say in, in few words and a few little time. I will try to stick to what physically Baba had actually done during his visits to this place. And I thank Soumya Kambata, who had nicely shared what I missed yesterday of Baba's visit to Kolkata. Baba's connection with Kolkata, Bengal in general, I would say is very, very deep and very significant work. उसका पूरा हिस्ट्री बताने के लिए शायद 15 मिनट काफ़ी नहीं होगा. But very intimately, Baba lovers from Kolkata were involved in spreading Baba's message of love and truth, and they were very intimately connected with Baba. So I will not go into the details of that. But it's very nice to know that Baba had actually visited this place as early as 1916. Excuse me, my default option is English, but I will speak in Hindi and Telugu a little bit summary. 1916 में बाबा इधर आए थे पहली बार, जबकि उनके पूरा हमारा ग्रॉस वर्ल्ड में आने में काफ़ी टाइम लगा था. उपासनी महाराज का अंडर ट्यूटलेज में थे तब. उनका माई शिरीन माई का कंपल्शन से उन्होंने बोला कि बेटा तुम जॉब लो. तो सेकंड जॉब, टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माई नॉलेज, सेकंड जॉब बाबा एवर हैड डन वाज डन इन कोलकाता. द फर्स्ट जॉब वाज इन गुजरात, a place called Nargol, and Baba willing, we probably will have a meet maybe very soon. So that would be that place is extraordinarily beautiful, and Kolkata is equally beautiful. So Baba had actually been forced in some sense by Shireen Mai to come here and take up the job in a drama company. Actually in March 1916 he had come here, and actually he didn't like it and he went back. But again Shireen Mai ने force किया था कि अब तुम जाओ, तो Alfred drama company आई. So I'm not going into the details of the connections, Mustum Kaka and all, but since she forced him to take up the job, and that was performing arts in Pakistan, now Pakistan, Lahore. And as soon as they went there, the owner of that company, Kawas, he died. When he died, the company got closed. So Baba had happily come back to Pune. So that's his second job in Kolkata. That is the history. And that time we don't know the details. Maybe in the diaries they are there. When and if the diaries come out, we will probably know the entire details. I'm sure they will come out one day. But that's a very long stay in Kolkata for Baba in 1916. Uske baad, what yesterday, in fact, unfortunately, we could not give the details to all the Baba lovers when they were visiting places. तो ये सोचते थे कि क्यों इधर हम क्यों आया. तो Baba connection with these places was very, very important. Unfortunately, this could have been little earlier, but because of various logistic reasons, Indrani ji could not arrange this kind of introduction to these places that we went there. I try to cover that also. How much time I have, Indrani ji? Okay, 15 minutes. Okay. So briefly I will tell about those places we had actually visited in the due course of my brief talk. Followed by 1916, he had visited again in 1924, again very, very important, and that is the period in which Baba was talking. So you can imagine the immense significance of his visit to Kolkata and all the how lucky Bengali people are for having witnessed the avatar of the age, and very importantly, the heralder of this avatar, as Soumya was reminding me, he himself said that, Baba himself said that is a heralder, that is announcing that avatar is going to appear after 700 or 1400 years, that 1400 years. So therefore, Bengal is very blessed because of Baba's deep connection. And 1924, when he came, and I should say, repeat it, if everybody knows about it, it's fine, but Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was not a simple yogi or any great saint or anything like that. He was a perfect master. वो perfect master थे. किसी ने कल पूछ रहा था मेरे को कौन सा प्लेन में थे, वो प्लेन में नहीं, वो एक्चुअली सदगुरु था actually. So Baba ने बोला ये rare avatar, I mean rare Sadguru, qualities of Sadguru. He didn't specify exactly what the rarity of his qualities are, excepting that he would manifest some of those illnesses and things like that. The cancer, for example, he was having at the terminal stage. He was born in 1836 and he dropped his body fairly early in his life. 1856, 36 to 86, sorry. 50 years he lived actually. So in this 50-year period actually, and Baba was born in 1894, so it's fairly soon. So the heralding of Avatar is very appropriate in terms of the physical time space. So it was a great event. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, we know all Bengalis, it's he is next to, is cutting across all the religions. I suppose they would follow this. In a sense, he is very close to heralding Baba's universal spirituality, irrespective of the religions. That holds a great significance in this. And for that, we are beholden to Bengalis and the land of Bengal. So when he visited in 1924, he actually gone to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's, where we had gone to yesterday, Dakshineshwar. He had actually gone, and the three things he had done. One is he sat in the room where, or the bed, I'm not too sure, where Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to stay there, and he spent alone. And Kali Mata, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, what he was worshipping as Kali Mata, he was actually also stood before that. So this is what Baba did. Third, I forget. So anyway, these are the 2 or 3 major things that he had done during 1924 visit. Then followed by that, 1930s he had come here I'll refer back to your note. So, I think my back. So fine. So 1930s he was there, and then again 1930 he took Aga Ali Khan. I mean, you know, he was Baba's one of the dearest school children, and right. And he went to zoo. Yesterday we went to zoo. आपने देखा होगा, and Baba's footsteps are there in this. So what Baba has said, wherever I visit for however short time, that place significance is greatly enhanced. Zuro Kendramon వెళ్ళాం కదా, బాబా ఆగా అలీ ఖాన్ తీసుకుని వెళ్ళారు అక్కడికి. Then museum and the craft market. I don't know where exactly craft market, Bengalis should know that. So he's visited, and other like an ordinary citizen, he has seen other places of interest. And followed by yet another landmark event and historical, what I would consider it as a spiritual milestone. And physically it is still there. For Bengalis, it should be a place for pilgrimage, I should say that, because Hotel Broadway, it's an esplanade and it is still there. And I had not gone there, I was trying to go there, but looks like that the ambience and inside, everything is more or less what it was like when Baba visited that. So nearby that Broadway hotel, there is also another hotel called Majestic, which is Chittaranjan Avenue. So that still is there, both are close together. Yesterday we were trying to go visit, but we could not manage to go there. So these are the two places physically associated with Baba which are still intact, and one can actually go and stay there. So that's about 1940 visit, followed by, he also took St. Anthony School, still there. Last visit we were trying to go there, but we could not go there. And he was footpath of St. Anthony School with a mosque. Baba had spent some time. And in 1940 again, Majestic Hotel with about 21 ladies, 21 people, Baba had come, and he had visited at that time Botanical Garden, the great banyan tree. We could not go there yesterday because of the long walk. Not many people were willing to go perhaps because they were tired by the time. So we had missed that, but the banyan tree, the great banyan tree, that's also known all over the world of its significance because it is spread over several acres. And then zoo, Kali temple, and then again in Jain temple, and then Pet Bazaar. Even now there is a Pet Bazaar. Baba had gone to the Pet Bazaar. That's in 1940. And in 1943, Baba had gone to do some kind of a 1943. This is the great the Bengal famine where millions died. So that was a very significant event that Baba had taken, perhaps because of his internal work, the great spiritual work that he had done. The famines, that famine was actually artificially created. It was known that British, by depriving of the rations, India was very rich in producing the food and all, but because of the war, they diverted all the food and supplies to the troops wherever or for themselves. So the famine has actually come. It's not because of lack of food for the people themselves. So that's because of his work, because of his immense trouble he had taken to travel to various places and visit all these feeding all the people, that perhaps today we have not much of a famine in the country or in elsewhere in the globe. I would say not just only in India, but perhaps on the globe itself. And 1943, he had also met relief centers doing charity work. He had also a lot of relief centers were actually doing work, and then he had gone and visited them and probably helped them. And 1945 again, hotel on Chittaranjan Avenue, he had stayed, and a Dharmashala in Kalighat locality he had visited in 1948 April. And mind you, these are the places where recorded history is there in Lord Mayor. तो बहुत सारा information है उसमें अपना William Dawkins, Dr. Dawkins, Wayfarers, we have no much idea about that. I mean, at least in this talk, there is not much time to talk about that. And in 1950, the most significant one, so he had the new life, the Langoti phase and begging phase more or less ended with this his work. In again the place where we had gone yesterday, in Belur Mutt, actually, where we had it's very ironical that Baba was begging and his people were also asked to beg, distribute coins, some kind of a charity work. So people were not amused. And only one lady had actually given bhiksha, and very hot food she had cooked and given to Baba. So in all, something like 9 times, it's not 8 times as our friend Rashid was saying, this is not mistake, our mistake actually. So it's so far, the recorded history, there are 9 times, as many as 9 times, practically spanning all decades of his universal work, starting from 20s, 30s, 1915, 1916s, even before he started formally his universal work. 1910, decade of 1910, then you have decade of 20, decade of 30s, decade of 40s, and decade of 50s. So excepting for 60s.
Few words in Telugu. Telugu.
Yeah, I'll tell. So this is what has happened. Practically, Bengal is very blessed because of his association right from his beginning of his work, universal work. And Bengalis should cherish this great fact that Baba, Avatar Meher Baba, had actually choose to work this way for us. ఇది కొంచెం తెలుగులో ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేస్తాను. ఐ హోప్ ఐ ఆల్సో డూ ఇట్ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఇన్ హిందీ సో దట్ పీపుల్ విల్ గెట్ సమ్ ఐడియా. టైమ్ ఈజ్ రన్నింగ్ అవుట్. అవతార్ మెహర్ బాబా ఇక్కడికి మొత్తానికి 9 సార్లు వచ్చారు ఇక్కడికి. ప్రథమంగా 1916 మదర్ శ్రీన్మాయి ఫోర్స్ చేయడం వల్ల ఇక్కడ జాబ్ తీసుకోవాల్సి వచ్చింది ఆయన. ఇది రెండో జాబ్. మొదటి జాబ్ గుజరాత్లో చేశాడు, నార్గోల్ అనే ప్లేస్. ఆ నార్గోల్ ప్లేస్ కూడా ఎన్ఎల్ఎస్ జర్నీ ఆఫ్ లవ్ బహుశా ఈ సంవత్సరం ఒక పిల్గ్రిమేజ్ చేయవచ్చు. ఇది రెండోది. బాబా జాబ్ తీసుకునేది ఇది రెండోది. ఇక్కడ చాలా టైం గడిపారు. 1916లో మార్చ్ నుంచి దాదాపు జూన్ వరకు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు. ఇక్కడ నుంచి పోస్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఆ కంపెనీలో డ్రామా కంపెనీలో జాయిన్ అయ్యి డ్రామా కంపెనీ లాహోర్, పాకిస్తాన్, ఇప్పుడున్న పాకిస్తాన్లోకి వెళ్తే అక్కడ ఆ డ్రామా కంపెనీ ఓనర్ చనిపోతాడు. ఆ డ్రామా కంపెనీ మూతపడిపోతుంది. అప్పుడు ఇమీడియట్గా తిరిగి వచ్చేస్తారు. తర్వాత 1924లో ఈ విషయం నాకు సౌమ్య కంబాట్ అనే నా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చింది. నేను మిస్ అయినది ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏంటంటే నిన్న వెళ్ళిన రామకృష్ణ పరమహంస దక్షిణేశ్వర్కి బెలూరుకి చెందింది ఇది. అక్కడ ఆ రామకృష్ణ పరమహంస ఉన్న ప్లేస్కి బాబా వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ఆయన దర్శనం తీసుకుని మనం ఎలాగైతే బాబా చూస్తానో ఆయన వస్తువులు, వివేకానంద వస్తువులు ఎలా చూస్తామో అలాగా బాబా చూశారు అక్కడ. 1924 తర్వాత 1930 అగైన్ బాబా వెళ్ళారు అక్కడికి. 1930 తర్వాత అగైన్ 1940లో మళ్ళీ బ్రాడ్వే హోటల్ అని ఇక్కడ ఉంది. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎస్ప్లనేడ్ నిన్న వెళ్ళడం కుదరలేదు. ఇంకా ఉంది, ఆ హోటల్ అలాగే ఉంది. చిన్న హోటల్ చాలా బాగుంటుందంట. ఆ హోటల్లో బాగా ఉన్నారు అక్కడ దాని పక్కనే ఇంకొక హోటల్ ఉంది, మెజెస్టిక్ హోటల్. పేరు కూడా మార్చలేదు, ఇప్పుడు కూడా అలాగే ఉంది హోటల్. అక్కడ ఉన్నారు 1940స్లో. అక్కడి నుంచి బొటానికల్ గార్డెన్, నిన్న మనం వెళ్ళాల్సిన బొటానికల్ గార్డెన్ బాబా వెళ్ళారు అక్కడికి. అక్కడి నుంచి జూ అవన్నీ చూశారు. తర్వాత కాళీ టెంపుల్ వెళ్ళారు కదా, అక్కడికి కూడా బాబా వెళ్ళారు. సో మనం అందరం ప్రేయర్స్ చేసాం, మీకు గుర్తుంటుంది. బాబా ఆ టైంలో అక్కడికి వెళ్ళారు. జైన్ టెంపుల్ కూడా వెళ్ళారు. ఆ జైన్ టెంపుల్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డీటెయిల్స్ మనకి తెలియదు. పెట్ బజార్ ఉంది పక్కన, పెట్ బజార్ దగ్గరికి కూడా వెళ్ళారు. అగైన్ 1943లో బెంగాల్ ఫ్యామిన్ వచ్చింది, కరువు, విపరీతమైన కరువు. లక్షల మంది జనాలు చనిపోయారు. ఆ టైంలో బాబా విజిట్ చేసి వాళ్ళందరికీ పూర్ ఫీడింగ్ చేశారు. బహుశా దానివల్ల మనకి ఈ ప్రపంచంలోనే కరువు అనేది సమస్య లేదు. ఆ ప్రమాణం 1940స్లో ఎలాగ చనిపోయారు అప్పుడు అలాంటి ఉదంతాలు లేవు. 1943లో ఆయన చేసిన యూనివర్సల్ కార్యక్రమం ఎఫెక్ట్ అని అనిపిస్తుంది. 1945లో అగైన్ చిత్తరంజన్ అవెన్యూ, అదే సేమ్ మెజెస్టిక్ హోటల్లో ఉన్నారు. చెప్పాలంటే చాలా డీటెయిల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, చాలా టైం లేదు కాబట్టి మనం కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేద్దాం. 1950 అది ముఖ్యమైనది. నవజీవనంలో బాబా గడిపిన ఆఖరి భిక్షాటన ప్లేస్, తర్వాత లంగోటిగా బాబా ఒక్కరే రామకృష్ణ పరమహంస రూమ్లో ఆయన ఏకాంతంగా గడిపారు. మీరు నిన్న వెళ్ళే దాంట్లో మీకు చూపించుంటారు. అక్కడ బాబా ఏకాంతంగా అక్కడ రామకృష్ణ పరమహంస దాంట్లో చేశారు. ఈ 9 విజిట్స్ తోటి బాబా ఆయన ఫిజికల్గా ఇక్కడ బెంగాల్లో చేయవలసిన కార్యక్రమం యూనివర్సిటీ వరకు कंप्लीट చేశారు. अभी जो मैंने बताया था कि बाबा इधर 9 बार बंगाल में बाबा आए थे इधर. स्टार्टिंग बिगिनिंग शुरुआत 1916 में बाबा ने किया था. और जब शिरीन माई ने उनको बोला था कि तुम जॉब कर लो करके उनको फोर्स किया था, तब इधर 3 महीने के लिए इधर आए थे. और एक ड्रामा कंपनी गए, उसमें गए थे. लेकिन वो ड्रामा कंपनी जब लाहौर गए, उधर उसका प्रोपरेटर कवास करके थे, वो उधर मर गए थे, अचानक मर गए थे. तो फिर बाबा ये छोड़ के फिर पुनः वापस लौटे. उसके बाद 1924 में फिर से आए. जब हम 1924 जब आए थे, तब वो 3 जगह हमने गए थे. वो सब जगह कल हम गए थे. उधर बाबा भी गए थे. रामकृष्ण परमहंस का रूम में बाबा स्पेंड किया था. और विवेकानंद का वो जो चीज़ हम देखा था वो भी बाबा ने देखा था. और उसके बाद 1930 में गए थे. फिर 1930 में वो होटल नहीं था, एक Broadway is 1940. 1930s Baba's Aga Ali took Aga Ali, and then zoo museum and the craft market he visited. 1940 में he had actually visited again Broadway hotel को visit उधर stay किया था. बाद में मैजेस्टिक होटल में भी उधर रहा था. वो एस्प्लेनेड में भी अभी भी है. उसके बाद 1940 में फिर मैजेस्टिक होटल आए थे. और उधर बाबा 21 लेडीज़ के साथ गए थे, फॉरनर्स भी इंक्लूडेड थे उसमें. और बोटानिकल गार्डन्स, जू, काली टेम्पल जैसे हमने गए थे कल, वो ऐसे ही गए थे. बाबा गए थे. एक जैन टेम्पल भी गए थे, पता नहीं वो कौन सा जैन टेम्पल है. और 1943 में जब बंगाल फैमिन आए थे, बहुत भयंकर फैमिन थे, उसमें लाखों लोग मर गए थे. उस वक्त बाबा स्वयं गरीब लोगों को फीड किया था. उसी का दौरान बाबा एक ख़त्म कर दिए, एक चैप्टर फूड फैमिन के एक चैप्टर को ख़त्म कर दिया सारी, बल्कि इंडिया में नहीं सारी दुनिया में उन्होंने शायद ख़त्म कर दिया. जैसे लेप्रेसी आजकल नहीं दिख रहे ना, ऐसे बाबा फूड फैमिन के लिए हमेशा के लिए मिटा दिया शायद. तो उसके बाद 1945 में फिर बाबा आए थे. और होटल चित्तरंजन एवेन्यू में मैजेस्टिक होटल जहाँ पर है उधर मौजूद थे, वो उधर गए थे. और धर्मशाला कालीघाट में भी वो उस लोकेलिटी में फिर से गए थे. और 1950 में सबसे लास्ट विजिट थे. उसमें जब नई जिंदगी में लास्ट फेज में बाबा भिक्षाटन का और लंगोटी फेज में ये दोनों चीज़ उधर बाबा ने किया था. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.